Look, I'm not someone who's attracted to men, but also, to be fair, from what I understand, that's a very common sentiment. Hey, but we're back to more Limbus Company. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time, we started off Canto 7, and this time we continue on Canto 7. What befell our company upon our departure from the Red Gaze's hands? Which we already saw that, you know. I've already gone through that. But, well. We'll do that. Oh, right. I think it was this. It's here, and then we grab that to get the extra points. Although, we do get extra from Hierarch Ishmael. So sure, we're scuffed anyways. It'll be fine once we get the ID for Sinclair. There'll be no worries from that point onward, ever. Not really. It is a free ID, and a free, pretty, okay. I've played around with, the Sinclair ID, it's fine. Like, it seems like one that needs some pretty specific conditions to work super well, and I don't know how to get those conditions. Ah, well. Haven't really gotten to play around too much with Hierarch Ishmael. Well, and on this account, I should say. But that'll be definitely something we get up in Canto 8. Your transformations. I must say, I haven't seen anything like it before. No demonstration for you, twit. Fine, I'll admit it. You've got some skill.
Ah, they're not half bad. They always work in cooperations with fellow fixers who can carry their own weight. I recognise you. I saw you guys busily charting away back at the warp train station platform. My name's Romero, by the way.
Sat there and watched as your men were out here fighting?
Yeah, but the fight was already underway when I got here. And I doubt we've been able to talk them out of it. Besides, I had a feeling that you guys could hold your own against my men. So please, allow me to ask for your understanding. They're not bad people, they're just on edge. Anyone would be able to do what we've gone through in their struggles against blood fiends. You have my understanding. Hunting entities such as those who lie beyond the ken must plant seeds of doubt in many in the hearts of men. Right, and I do agree with him at least partially. Bar set by P Cup and Land Association for fixers to participate in the contract is shockingly low and indiscriminate. Up to me, I would have set more strict conditions. His friendly smile faltered slightly as he gestured around the empty lot. Look around, over there by the command tent. Just one look at who we're working with, and I'm sure it'll become plenty clear that they don't know what they're walking into. They should have hired only the professionals to take on the contract. Around the command tent? Someone's taking this little turn to look at the large noise tent. Wow, chat, is this for real? There was a huge brawl by the entrance. It's real amateur hour out here, guys. Can you believe I gotta stand shoulder to shoulder with these kind of idiots for the contract? What the hell is he doing? In a sense, we saw some guy running his mouth and striking several exaggerated, dramatic poses at a tiny device. Most likely a camera of sorts. No, we all had experience with someone like him in the past. Reminds me of a certain someone. He's taking pics like that guy Siegfried. He ran around for a while, visiting every corner of the empty lot, trying to get every detail in frame. And suddenly started striding toward us in an annoyed gait. Hello, yes, you guys over there! Hast thou called upon us? Do you mind loitering around somewhere else? Shoot, get in the way of my viewers, guys! You're literally in our way, guy. He whipped his attention back to the camera as though he was pretending not to hear what Ishmael said, or as if he decided her words weren't worth entertaining. Oh, you wanna know where I am? Hold on to your seats, guys! I'm at the back streets of District 16. Yeah, where P Corp is. Oh yeah, remember P Corp? 150 vintage semi-permanent canned ice cream unboxing and review live stream? Yep, the very same. Unfortunately, I'm not here to eat ice cream today. I've been meaning to ask, who's that fellow even talking to? What is he doing? I think he's talking to his viewers who are watching his show. It appears that he's the host of a certain show. It's been reported that in certain parts of the city, a new culture of live streaming via those cameras has been on the rise. What a rude piece of work. Tell him get you down, Ghetto. What a glorious day it is! Behold, that's about his second meal of the Sinking Association West! Was his name honored as one of the top 10 up-and-coming new generation fixers featured in the October issue of Fixers Monthly, in one of the big 3 fixer magazines of the city! I know we say this every single time, but most people don't know. Never mind. How? Have you not hearkened when I shared news of grave significance of both of us? Have none of you heeded my words? You mad? Well, I'll listen to you when I can out instead. Such hanging over a winding path is often cause for sickness on the road, Miss Don Quixote.
The grumbling sinners clearly existed outside Don Quixote's world. She was breathing very heavily, a look of admiration clear on her face. I, for one, did not imagine even my wildest dreams that I should be shaking hands with Sir Camille in person. Of course, no one shook hands or exchanged the simplest pleasantries with Camille just yet. Like, I'm not as good as I can't hop right into the YouTuber voice without, what's up, guys? Today, I have to start with a what's up, guys, in order to, get into that, in which the tale of our young master is revealed. So embarrassing. You don't have to clown around with that thing while on a mission. Wow! Hey chat, look! Allow me to introduce you all to Paula from Zwei Association. She'll be my sidekick for this mission. Listen, I'm not your sidekick. As you can probably tell from her outfit, she's a fixer from the West, just like myself. The association sometimes sticks me with sidekicks like her against my will for some contracts. A joint operation, you know? Oh yeah, totally. I know I really shine when I work alone, but what can I do? Gotta do what the higher ups tell me to. You get it, right? How do you say hello to my dear fans anyway, Miss Paula? A collaboration of Sink and Zwei, two formidable forces together as one! I think she's tearing up. What great, glorious, grand, blood-pumping feeling this is! My heart pumps madly as though its explosion nigh. The great figures I had previously seen only through recordings, through books, through figurines, are here before me in the flesh, conversing, ambling right before mine eyes! Do you know most of the pictures here, Don Quixote? If a picture hath been featured in one of the magazines I am subscribed to, then verily! If that's the case, then everyone here really are fixers. She probably knows who that person is, too. The person who's been staring daggers at us this whole time. Who are they? The group of fixers who've been staring at us for a while. Allow me to observe! Hath the reputation of secrets to be recognized by me as sight! Ah, 'tis a joyous conundrum indeed. Tis present before I had said I must graciously bow for that special feature on the front page of the newspaper. I may have a few gaps in my knowledge. 'Tis probable that they are from a small upstart office that hath only recently registered itself, but 'tis clear from the fashion in which they grab that they hail from these. What a relief. Really, I recognize who they are. Holy day! Thou recognizes the fixer who I'm out for truth! Duncan stares at Hong Lu in utter disbelief. Or so, come on, don't look back at them. We've been looking at each other for a while. There's no reason for me to avert my eyes. Oh, man, that's what most people call a staring contest, and it's a ruse. It just... They're walking toward us. Should we wave at them or something? Yeah, let's stare back at them again. Let's at least not come fully scared of them. Yeah, confidence. You know we're there within hearing distance, right? Right in front of us. Bloody hell, don't look away, lad. Eyeball him right back. We don't want to get caught unless we're about to get into fisticuffs. Oi, lass! You got business with us or what? So that grin on your face. I know I'll be introducing her to everyone so soon. Please say hello to my little sister, Jiaxi Chun. Little sister? Little sister? I didn't recognize you. Last time I remember you only up to my knees in height. It's because I was a child the last time you saw me. Here I was, wondering what kind of impressive shenanigans you were preparing for since you left home. This is it? That's all you managed to build of your own faction? They're not my faction, Ji-Chin. Come on, let me introduce you to them. I'll start here. This is Mr. Gregor. Say hello. Yo. Don't be shy. My name's Forget it. I don't have time for this. Jiaxi Chun gave us a side-eye before dismissively cutting us off. Oh, hey, you've not only grown in heights, Chun. Your circle of friends has been growing too, just like mine. They knew? To call them friends was a very optimistic assessment on Hong Lu's part, because the people who accompanied Jiaxi Chun were all threateningly sizing us up like they were getting ready for a fight. You don't really think they're my friends, do you? Still far behind my older siblings anyway. I see. Now some of us are still out here looking for you. I do. I thought it might be I ran into Xiao Huan earlier and had a quick chat with him. Still in one piece after running with that asshole? Still lucky as always, huh? I think back to the first time we met this Xiao Huan. His venomous words, the contemptuous look he gave us as we lay there dying. It seems that moment was embellished into a pleasant, quick chat in Hong Lu's memory. Either that, or the interaction was what counts as a quick chat for Hong Lu. Ji-Chin, I overheard this is a pretty dangerous place. You've been going missing around here. When your friends go find somewhere else safe to refuge in? So I can't tell if you're trying to be funny if you're genuinely worried for me. Listen, my naive brother. I got here first, okay? Other than you and your faction. I mean, your second-rate minions. This is making sense to you? I'm here to take part in the eradication of La Mancha land. I'm pretty sure I have better intel on this place than you do. You are? Why would we take some part in something like this? Not like you need more money, right? Yeah, you don't say. And not you're in it for some pocket money either. Pocket money, sure. Whatever. Pocket money. Oh, then is it... Ah, never mind. I don't think you or Mr. Wei are going to answer that question anyway. Hong Lu's eyes momentarily diverted from his younger sister to her posse. This sort of long-haired man who looked toward Joshua as though he was asking for permission then, walked toward us and bowed deeply and politely toward Honolulu. It has been a while, young master. It's been so long, Steway. Still it's going Jishin, I see. Yes, I am still in her service, despite my shortcomings. I'm worried it might be too dangerous in there. Why don't you tag along with us, Jishin? We can do this together. Hey, master, I see that you still are yourself. Forget it. Why don't you mind your own business and we go our separate ways? I see that you and your friends have some real talent for attracting attention, but I prefer to keep things discreet. I prefer if you didn't embarrass me by talking to me or something. Okay, if that's what you want, Chi-Chan. Thought I've gotten better after all this time, brother. It's better than you were the last time we met. I see. I suppose I haven't improved at all in your eyes. Consider yourself lucky it's me who ran into you. With all the other siblings, your pretty head would already be rolling in the dirt. Thank you. I appreciate that. Joshua scowled and opened her lips as though she was about to shoot something back, but she thought better of it, turned around, and left with the posse. I say it's rare to see a happy family than it is to see an unhappy one. Don't look at me. Don't consider that dog my family. No, but that's not what I... What are you looking at? You expect me to back you up or something? Oh, man. Just like old times. So, she was always that spiteful? Spiteful? No. Chi-Chun always has been and still is my most amicable sibling. I must ask, for I have cause to believe that I may have misheard. It still is, was it? Yeah. That was... His long expression grew into a complicated mess of emotions as he looked to the ground, unable to speak further. It's like they're holding some kind of meeting in there. Probably join them. Up to where Sinclair was pointing again, saw a line of fixers walking to what appeared to be a makeshift command tent. We should. So now we've met the source of family hierarch Ishmael. Sometimes just called Jishunmael. Oh, okay, really? Oh, the immensely devastating duel in which I fixed in the sync battle! You are required to have Dawn in LCB. Luckily, it does level her up to 45. I always forget Dawn is a girl. What are these people coming in for Gillis and Caroline? Damn, they're not even way back, huh? I suppose I'm about for Gillius. Don Quixote, who stood next to me, was gradually starting to hyperventilate. You okay, Don Quixote? This gradual acceleration of her breathing patterns was first observed 10 minutes ago. I did not report it, as opposed to no real risk to her health and well-being. I know a good way of dealing with a case of hyperventilation. Yoshi regarded at me with a look that clearly and concisely communicated that she wanted to choke out Don Quixote. I tried my best to look away. Ishmael sighed and stepped forward, sensing that Ryoshi was about to do something we would rather not have her do. That's how it's going on. Fixer from Hana Association. The Hana Association is the one that's overseeing all Fixer Association activities, right? I guess all the times Don Quixote weren't on impromptu Fixer-related lectures weren't all for naught. I never paid much attention to it, but once you hear something enough times, those lectures just kind of a way of lodging themselves into your brain. Fixer from the Hana Association? The name alone clearly carried a lot of weight among other fixers. As the Hana Association fixer dressed in pure white walked into the room, they all slowly turned around to gaze upon her. And the red gaze too! Holy crap, a color fixer here! So I can gather another superstar here. Regulus, who we'd somehow grown used to seeing after such a long period of traveling together, was commanding the attention of everyone in the room merely by his presence. That reminds me, I heard that Don Quixote was overwhelmed by sheer excitement when she saw Virgilius on the bus. She was on the verge of passing out from sheer joy of getting to work next to a color fixer. As we expected, I guess one of the very few fixers who has the honor of getting bestowed with the title of color. Chat, are you seeing this right now? Crazy, right? Look, it's no other than the color fixer, Red Gaze himself, in the flesh. So now we were backwards, backstreets operation we're talking about. Remember my pre-game stream? So I guess this had to be more than an urban nightmare. I'm worried about me, guys. Listen, all I need is your support to youngsters these days. Between Camino's non-stop jabbering and Otis's tongue clicking, even 3-second intervals, I wasn't sure which one of the two was more annoying. Thankfully, we weren't the only ones getting increasingly tired of Camille's antics. From this point onward, any recording activity, save for official work-related recordings with prior authorization from the Hana Association, will no longer be permitted. Should you be caught in violation of this decree, the Fixer Association will be levying in penalty points to your name, and we who are gathered here must well be aware of the consequences of accumulating too many penalty points. Fixture licensing, suspension, grade demotion. Well, chat, seems like it's current calls for tonight's show. I'll give them a valorous and noble fight, and I'll see you guys next time Oh, and don't forget about casting your votes for the fixture I want to have dinner with contest. Goes at midnight. The Hana fixer's cold declaration fell upon Camille and the fixers inside the command tent like a heavy layer of snow. They all began hurriedly fidgeting with their devices, trying to put them back in their respective cases and bags. With that, the commotion inside the tent rapidly simmered down. Serves them right. You there. The one with the apparently dislocated jaw appears to be part of your group. Is she alright? The fixer followed on us, though, soon asking our direction, glancing at Don Quixote. Don't mind her. It's easier that way. Soon a P-Corp employee walked out in front of the fixers. Right for against Lamonchalanda. I'm very glad to be here. Happy to see you all. Someone who's happy to see us, he didn't so much as glance up in our direction. I'm a class 3 documentation staff at P-Corp. Car covers Bobbin. Name's Alessia. And she is... I know. So her manager is ours in here to brief us as well. Not wanting to dirty your boots by coming all the way out here, I see. Alright then, let's get on with the briefing, shall we? As we're all standing here and sharing our predictions, the employee, who introduced himself as Alessio, started loading up various images on the monitor. My, do we really got to go through all this bureaucracy? Briefing is yet to commence, however. Equal lets out a loud, exaggerated yawn. The approachful glares of other fixtures were so palpable I could almost feel them prickling at my skin. We pretend we don't know them. Makes you feel like I'm somewhat of a fixture myself sitting here with all these people. The commander, I've been the lead of numerous operations though towards this little skirmish. Numerous. I wanted to hear more about her story, but the mission briefing was actually getting started, so I decided to just table my curiosity until later. Launchland, who will manifest here within the next 3 hours, to officially recognize the urban nightmare class phenomenon. Dozens of fixers have attempted and failed to take it down. They're now holding the moment of silence for its victims. Don Quixote immediately cast her gaze downward with a graven expression, but I could count with my 10 fingers the number of people who seemed to be taking it even remotely seriously. Some fixers muttered amongst themselves that the victims were just fools who were in over their heads. Even I, with my endless naivete, could tell that other fixers really consider them victims. Light buzz of murmurs and idle chatters fill the silence. The look of boredom clear on the fixers' faces as though they've heard it all before. Now then, I may direct your attention to the screen. Several low-resolution images began to load on the display. I speculated that the origin of Lamonchalanda dates back 200 years in the past, by a conservative estimation. This has been determined based on photographic evidence, the level of decay of the buildings and materials retrieved, and allows for the phenomenon. However, Lamonchalanda was largely unknown and invisible to the public until 2 months ago. The raw material that makes up this amusement park is... We know this already, get on with it! Peacock had the responsibility to share sufficient information to all participants of this mission.
Like I said, we all have more than sufficient information. Got that? Let's stop wasting time.
There seemed to be under a rather severe misconception. Of course, I'm sure some of my present company and are confident professionals with the skill and grit most people wouldn't dare scoff at. But the truth is, most of you are fodder. Thomas mock, painfully average garden variety bargain bin fixers who are most likely going to meet their dirt-filled miserable ends while stuck on an urban nightmare duty their whole careers. That's all you'll ever be. Most of you will fall by the wayside before this path leads you to anywhere of even passing significance, let alone joining the ranks of grade 1 fixers like myself. Some, maybe 1 or 2 of you, may make it to grade 1, sure, but I can guarantee that you won't even dare dream of getting anywhere near the Great Gaze's greatness. Maybe your best will be the honor of dying next to him, feeling a disparity between yourself and those who are at the top of the city. The grin on the fixer's face quickly faded as the boisterous fixer fell dead silent. Blimey, so that Hana fixer's almost right up there with the guy, huh? Like somewhere up beneath his level? Yeah, the right case shan't be undone by a mere grade 1 fixer. Know your places and pay attention to the briefing. Thank you for the cooperation. Now let's see. The reason for Lamonchalanda sudden appearance is yet to be explained. Though its influence is still confined to the back streets, the uniqueness of Lamonchalanda pays a tangible threat to Peacock merely by its existence. Yeah, totally, dude. The housing market hit rock bottom and continued to crash, didn't it? The fixer from earlier, the one who tried to stop us from entering the scene before scuttling away, slowly sidled up to us and began chatting us up. Most of us ignored it, but he responded to him in a kindly voice. Is that right? Yeah, it was insane when that thing showed up here for the first time. It appeared in the middle of a dense population center. It was like 2 hells in one. All that screaming, all that blood, and... 2 hells in one, A beautiful phrasing. Well, Peacock buildings are well known for their elasticity, so while they got all bent along the newly manifested phenomenon, they didn't, like, crumble or anything. Anyway, when the Lamonchalanda suddenly appeared here, pulsing and pushing away all the buildings that used to be there, People got crushed and a bunch of buildings got bent. There were really a lot of survivors for something so devastating, all thanks to P Corp's singularity, which kept the people inside the building safe. He set up a 3-kilometer radius buffer zone to limit any construction in the area where it manifests, but... It's 3 kilometers. Buildings utilizing P Corp's singularity have very high level of elasticity, meaning that buildings made using their technology are very unlikely to collapse or fall apart in response to shock. It's probable they have decided that it would be safer to fill the periphery of the launch sites that they overlap with the residential zone. Well, you know what they say, P Corp can make a safe home anywhere. So imagine the shock when all that disaster happened. Their only claim to fame crumbled, the faith in their technology growing shaky. No wonder the real estate markets crashed to rock bottom around here. I mean, it was so bad that the locals banded together and stormed La Mancha Line, pickets and all. So that's what those banners are about, huh? As you know, see, La Mancha Line presents itself as an extravagantly decorated amusement park. One of the many commonly heard testimonies from the reports state that there was an 8-kilometer range radius from the epicenter in which people have been hearing a disembodied music of sorts. Several curious civilians drawn by the music approached it. Most of them are yet to return. It's possible the music holds hypogenic qualities. That's a possibility we won't be ruling out. Too many visitors ever ignored the obvious warning signs to prohibit the types of coincidence. Possibly erring on the side of caution when the relevant individuals will be equipping ourselves with earplugs.
Well, what's we do once this La Mancha Line materialises?
Once you enter its perimeters, you'll have to ready yourselves for imminent combat. Not any kindly perils giving away balloons, no amusement park employees popping popcorn, no staff members greeting you with a welcoming song. Only blood fiends.
Blood fiends, they're real.
Have you heard about the Blood Red Knight and it was star of the city? Some people say that the Blood Red Knight was actually a really powerful blood fiend.
Yeah, well, people say a lot of stuff, T. You know, rumours spread in the city. Wasn't anything, too crazy once you get down to it. Rumours. Never know how devastatingly powerful and stubborn the Blood Red Knight was. You ignoramuses don't have the right to talk about that thing so lightly.
One things you'll find in there. The blood bags, the blood fiends that turn them, sharpening their fangs to fill their ravenous hunger with your blood.
Oh, here's a detail I was going to share earlier before I got off. One material that makes up every structure within the Marsh Land is human blood. You will update back to over 200 years in the past. Blood fiends can make an amusement park out of blood? Ah, now I'm looking forward to this. It's only blood fiends we'll find in there. I'm sure they'll waste no time making mincemeat of the green ones. Is that how all pictures talk?
When the guys talking about blood fiends remind me a lot of how issues talk about the Great Lake. Ambulance for being on edge all the time, the smallest mistake costs their lives. Not to mention how irritating it was when others who don't even understand the dangers are dozing off things to know tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't doze.
I'm sorry, this company been stepping on my foot.
I had a nice weather today, huh?
It was Sinclair who was stepping on his foot at the rather forcible behest of Ishmael, but I held my silence. The last thing I wanted was to have the two of them bickering again. Anyway, if you manage to survive for 6 hours within the Manch Land, the music announcing the closure of the park will start playing. The cross-reference is fast with the testimonies of every fixtured civilian who managed to make it alive. The second started songs playing, you'll have 30 minutes to exit the Manch Land. If you fail to do so, you'll be trapped inside the Manch Land until it manifests here again, effectively putting you into an endless battle against the Blood Fiends.
If anyone survives that long.
Then also, I was reports for some fixes that identified missing people board set in amusement park rides. That's not important detail for those prisons. Based on testimonies and reports from the survivors, we have been able to establish a map of the La Mancha Land, comprised of 4 separate areas. Notice it make it to the final area, which is located here. We were able to identify that a certain device in each area, Area 1, 2, and 3 respectively, has to be activated in order to unlock the final area. The device within Area 1 and 2 have been activated in the past, but no one has managed to activate the one in Area 3 just yet.
Understood. Suppose we speed out to Area 3 to save some time then.
No. If the device is reset when the Manch Land disappears. In other words, we'll have to divide and conquer. Team up with other fixers, choose an area to tackle.
I see.
Split up, activate our respective devices, and rendezvous at the final area. Assuming that every team successfully activates the device they're responsible for. Correct? We expect that the key to solving the Manch Land problem lies within its final area. There's something I'd like to share. Is it funny? You go and activate some kind of device in each section of the Manch Land to unlock the final area. Don't like a game, innit? Like to give those dead challenge to the Manch Land stages to beat, conditions to fulfill.
Oh, should we know what the blood box are thinking? This monster's are born twisted.
I know. Something like to consider. The Spy Association here is to rescue our clients after the eradication reward.
Ah, don't mean Spy and Sync. Don't leave me out.
Therefore, Spy and Sync have no reason to enter the 3 areas to activate those devices. I suppose you can take over from here for the sake of accuracy.
Sure. I'm sure all of you are reasons for being here. Therefore, we at Peacock set up a eradication dividend fund, which means we'll be giving out reward money based on how much you've contributed to the eradication of the Mancha Land. Assuming a successful outcome, that is. If it goes in the allocation launch line, then feel free to roam on your own to fulfill your respective contracts. As long as you acknowledge that you won't be receiving any payoff on that fund upon the successful completion of this expedition, free to do as you will. And we would also like to request that you submit a copy of that contract so we can fully weigh out the details. Understood. I'll hand over soon as the beginning of the journey.
Speaking of which, I'd like to take this opportunity to declare something. If you, and I mean if any of you, intend to ride our coattails to peel for more of that reward than you deserve, I'll hunt you down. Got that?
Ladies and gents, I can attest that he isn't one for empty threats. Can't promise I'll be able to stop him, Sure as intends. I understand that a lot of money hinges on this contract. And remember that our primary objective remains to minimize casualties and prevent further disappearances. At least I'm not stuffing us behind and cooperate for the greater good.
Fine, I'll cooperate.
If that's even possible. The Hanafix did not contradict him. She was the kind of person who wouldn't hesitate to put her foot down. She could have easily forced us into cooperating, but it seemed that she wouldn't be keeping us from infighting if it did come to that. Don Quixote was the only one passionately nodding along to her advice. So he was going with who? To which area? Sir Chun, Honglu's little sister who'd been listening quietly to the briefing, raised her hand with a question. We decided to teams and areas based our internal data analyses of your individual capabilities, potential, and alignment. We should probably avoid overcrowding, huh? Such as saddling us a group of a dozen or so people, for example. We intend to avoid bottlenecking too many people in the same area. Not Heiner to say to us, huh? Well, it's not like we want her to tag along. If I'm no further questions, I'll be sending you all to teams and area pairs. Hold! Every single fix in the room would whip around to look at Don Quixote at her bellowing roar. Perhaps there's a sheer fervor in her voice, or perhaps they were simply annoyed by her asking that one last question when the boring briefing was almost over. Please, don't tell me this is actually happening. Oh! That actually woke me up this time! This might be the best time to go back to sleep, bud. It resulted in a summer execution back in the day. The question is... Ha! It appears that the information of the greatest import is missing from my briefing! It is? Please? As I began flipping through the briefing, flustered. When shall the rescue operation for the victims of this terrible amusement park commence? I believe that an operation of such a grand scale would be difficult to accomplish with only the help of sirs and ladies from the Zvi and Sink Association. Hey, is that like a character you're playing or something? That's not mainstream at all. I like it. But I gotta say, playing a character's a bit old-fashioned. At least, I know that my viewers won't enjoy something like that. Appears there's been some misunderstanding. Our contract has nothing to do with rescuing the visitors along with all of them. Our contract is a search and rescue operation for specific visitors requested to us by our clients. Then, whoever shall make up the rescue party for its rescue victims? Is she for real?
Where do these idiots come from?
Dude, let me see. Once you specifically contract to rescue someone, I recommend that you peruse the missing flyers posters for the rewards. Yet, it is not the promise of rewards that I desire. So many valiant fixers are gathered here, yet not one taketh up the role of rescuer. Pretty fix of the Zvi! I'm not one of the Zvi, but one of those who call themselves your shield. Yeah, they're shield, right? Yeah, should whoever enters an official contractual agreement with them. Fie! You have fixed must wager their own life on shallow promise of capital. Pray tell when do the figures of association abandon honor for greed? Ah, jeez. Guess they're not playing around. Have any idea who you're talking to? I'm very well aware, young Camille of the Sink Association Texting 3. Frequent fixes that feature fixes monthly magazine. Currently number 7 in the fixes that want to have dinner with the contest. So you know you... Wait, I'm only number 7? That's not important right now. If you're so knowledgeable of fixers, then I'm sure you know this as well. That I, as a fixer of the Sink Association, am not one to waste breath on mere words. When we want to settle things, something or make a statement, we duel. An official duel to the death. Then, what thou heed my words, shall I best thee in a duel? What? Should I best thee in a duel? Would thou swear on thine honor that thou shalt assist in our rescue mission for those who have gone missing? Are you seriously challenging me to it? No. I, Don Quixote, perforce shall not so lightly forsake my creed. I hereby challenge thee to a duel. Things were quickly starting to spiral out of control. I was packing a glance toward Virgilius, but I couldn't read his expression. He was simply staring at us in that inscrutable silence. Sounds almost felt like warmth. Somehow I found myself getting more intimidated by this than outright anger. Okay then, on the briefing here. We determined from prior experience that it will be impossible to stop the presently developing situation. People's dilated brows frown at a steep angle, who refuse to heed any external input. Our attempt to coax her will not be met with any meaningful response. So she's lost it. I looked at the minutes earlier at the empty lot Dante and encountered the browning eyes. I opened again to turn your clock in the eyes of every fixer participating in this case are watching us intently, especially for a duel in which there was very little benefit to be gained. This includes summoning entities from different worlds or the use of the ego. Well, yeah. But it's not like we'll be using them once we get inside, right? I don't see what's wrong with
Just as I was trying to convince Faust otherwise, Don Quixote stepped in and resolutely shook her head. Nay, worry not. It's an unnecessary crutch. Seriously? A duel against a member of the Sing Star, she must be fair and just! Never did I intend to borrow my strength, Manchesqua, for this hallowed battle of mine. Fine. It's nice that I don't have a fancy to watch me wipe the floor with you, but I'm sure somebody will spread the story by word of mouth. I won't feel my gun out of pity. On God, petit niveau. Chat, is this for real? Foolhardy duel. Gains class power up for every XP and also gains some bind. Just as a note, you do not need to win this. And right away we gain 2. What if we go something like that? I still would like to win. I think that'd be cool. Damn. Also, this is what the Sync Verso, Camille is what Sync Verso is based off of. Goddamn, Kudroy is very tough. Oh well. Also, is she up to... Huh, neat. She's up to level 4 for this. Tragic. Tragic. And yeah, all quite hopeless. I think kind of weird that... Oh well. I really like this, the early part of the Kanto, just for the fact that, like, it's a very good deconstruction of Don's opinion of fixers. He's like, reasonably, the Sync and the Zwei are like the most honorable people out there. It's like, obviously you have, you know, the Sync are your traditional duelists, and the Zwei are, you know, they specialize in, we haven't seen any of the Sync South identity uptie stories, but the big thing that the Sync does is they take duels for their clients. So, you know, it's the honorable duel, you know, take care of things instead of having to get into a big fight. You just have, you know, members, you know, just have a Sync Association member duel someone. Like, have all this honor, and they're just like, look, we're not here to save people. When we got paid to do a job, we're gonna do it. This was a light wound. That was sorely mistaken if I truly believes that such meager wound could... It was definitely more than just a light wound. It was outright crippling, if not fatal. Camille was an all talk after all. He had an impressive speed and precision, living up to his boasts. I couldn't bear to look at Don Quixote squirm in pain, but turning the clock here will leave an even greater wound in her heart. 'Tis not the end. Why waste my blade? I'd rather not have others hear this duel. I think I'm bullying some poor amateur. That's enough, Camille. There's no crime push for the safety of all victims. Yeah, but her attitude needs correcting, spouting nonsense like that, not knowing who she's talking to. Fix her this, honor that, justice... Doesn't she know it's all just... Ugh. Enough shenanigans. It's not all waste our strength before we've been stepping foot into La Manche land. As for the trouble, I'll put a stop to it myself. La Manche land ATA will be in approximately 1 hour. For an hour from now, phenomenon may appear at any moment. Please remain in close proximity to your teams in case of emergency. The momentary kerfuffle came to a close thanks to the Han Association's intervention. Only silence and occasional grunts of pain from Don Quixote filled the empty lot. Let's get back inside. Can't turn my clock in front of so many people. You'd spin me right round, baby, right round. We did great. And that will be all the greatness we do for this time. Next time, we continue on with Kanto 7. This is really, I think, like, I'll discuss that next time. Until then, see you guys later.